Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and we got to do something a little bit different for this movie talk tonight. It's not even going to be called movie talk. This is the review for Scream 6. So why am I reviewing a brand new movie on movie night, which is usually like older movies and stuff? March is full. March has so many movies releasing almost weekly, and I was late to Scream. And as of recording this video, Shazam comes out tomorrow, which means that the review is going to come out tomorrow for you guys. Haven't seen that movie yet, but we'll talk about that on that. So I did see Scream 2 days ago. For me, I did see it a little bit behind schedule. I originally wasn't sure if I wanted to see the movie or not. A bunch of friends offered to go. I got the ticket. Everybody but me and one other person canceled. So we ended up seeing the movie. But yeah, so I've been like a Scream fan for the longest for slashers. I've kind of been new to slasher films. The first slasher I ever saw was Halloween 2000. But that was also, I was like 5 and it was at Value City. Somebody thought that was a good idea. And it scared me away from it. But then I heard the concept of Scream and I was like, okay, I want to see this movie. So I saw Scream 2, loved it. Then I saw Screams 1 and 3 after that, and then I watched the first 2 seasons of the TV show. I've not seen Scream 4 or 5 yet. I do plan on reviewing the whole series with you guys. Okay, and action. Sorry. Literally, my girlfriend and a close friend of mine are just deciding to talk to me as I'm recording a video. Anyways, so I was waiting for it to be like, what's your favorite scary movie? But yeah, anyway, so that's how the movie starts, ironically. Not ironically as in they never did that in a Scream film before. That's been in basically every Scream film. But ironic that I get the phone call as I'm recording them talking about this movie. So, spoilers now. If you don't want to talk about spoilers, wait until the end, or skip towards the end. I will do this on the screen or something. Actually, I'll leave that in, too, with the phone call. Anyways, so, basically, it starts with these two college kids, really one, killing one of his teachers who's a slasher film fanatic. And it turns out that him and his roommate are wanting to continue the Last Killers movie. And during that, they end up getting killed by the real ghost face of this movie. Or one of the real, we'll get to that at the end. But yeah, so that causes the chain of events, and the new Ghostface is trying to basically frame the Carpenter sisters, mainly Samantha Carpenter, who I don't know how Billy Loomis had a kid. I'm missing that, I think, from the 4th or 5th movie. But yeah, so they're trying to frame Samantha, or show the world how she truly is a killer. And through that, we also meet the original, or the 4 from the last movie, I guess, and 2 new characters. 3 new characters. One's girlfriend to one of the other characters. But yeah, so they basically are kind of talking about what their plan, or what they're thinking is going on. We're introduced to Tara, played by Jenna Ortega, who is not healthily coping with the events of the last movie. Again, I guess I still have to see Scream 5. And we see that Samantha is in therapy. But yeah, so we watch kind of like things progress as they're trying to figure out, like, the cops are trying to figure out who the killer is. And in that, what happens is the killer attacks Tara and Samantha, who run into a bodega where the Ghostface uses a shotgun, or tries to, basically kills everybody in the bodega but them, then gets away. They get pulled into the station where we meet their roommate's dad. I forgot to mention Tara and Samantha have a roommate who's considered the slutty girl. Sam also is dating somebody across the street that is kind of set up that he might be the killer. I honestly made a bet with my girlfriend at the movie that that's who it was. Then I walked in on the scene that we're going to talk about next after using the restroom, and I literally handed her the $5. But yeah, so anyways, so they decide that everybody's going to stick together, except one of the new guys has a class. So he is not there for when Ghostface breaks into the room, kills the roommate, and kills the other new character that's the girlfriend, and they escape via a ladder to her neighbor's house. And why I figured out the neighbor wasn't the killer at that point was because he witnessed the whole attack on the roommate. So the dad comes in, sees the scene, loses it, and he's planning to kill the killer. We also get introduced to Hayden Panettiere. I'm sorry, I don't remember the names. But yeah, so she's an FBI agent. I guess she was in the last movie as well, last few movies. And she is trying to help figure out who this killer is. We also get Gale Weathers back. And they're all starting to work together. They decide that they're going to try to track the killer. And in doing that, the killer ends up actually being at Gale's house ready to attack. We get this really cool fight between Gale and Ghostface, which I will mention something at the end of this that I figured out that I thought was funny. Also in that scene is when I kind of figured out who the killer was. You see, they're in a public park when they get the phone call, and the father, the roommate that died, we see him walking like this during the phone call, and then he literally goes like that and then walks over to the girls. So that I was like, why is he just dropping a phone there? That's weird. So at that point, I realized he was the killer. And then I started thinking in my head, I was like, well, then why did he kill his daughter? I was like, probably because she was sleeping around and probably ditching classes, and it was probably his money. Like, going like that, and, like, kind of spiraling as I'm watching it, like, okay, he's the killer. We also find a memorabilia den, I should say, of all the previous Scream movies. That is a very important part that I skipped over. I do apologize. But, yeah, it's basically the killer's lair. So we find out that basically they are going to try to trap the killer in that place. So they go and they call the cop and they tell him, and I'm like, oh no, yeah, no, he's the bad guy. Which then he calls back and says that Hayden Panettiere is the killer. And they do kind of play that off that she might be the one. Also during this, the group gets separated. We leave behind one of the original four with the last surviving new character who get trapped in the room with Ghostface, or trapped in the train with Ghostface, and the original four member gets killed while the new kid tries to save her. Again, we are led to believe that her and Gale are killed. Just leaving that there because it gets very important in a second when I explain something that I caught. So, what happens after that is it is revealed that the cop is the mastermind behind Ghostface, along with his daughter, who they faked her death, and their son, who is the other new character. And their motive was that his other son was the murderer from the 5th movie, who's played by Huey. So I'm just going to call him Huey. So I apologize, but yeah. So Huey's family planned to kill the Carpenter sisters out of revenge for them killing Huey. So we also find out who killed who. So they don't explicitly say it, but piecing it together. Murdering the 2 wannabes at the beginning was the father. The son killed the one person's girlfriend, as well as helped fake the sister's death. Then the sister does say that she killed Gail and tried to killed the other friend. Also, she was the first one at the memorabilia area, so she also killed that person's brother. And this is what is interesting, is all 3 of those characters survived, so she technically did not kill anybody. But yeah. And then they end up basically fighting everybody. All 3 of them end up dead, and Sam and Tara get through. Tara ends up actually being the one that kills all 3, and then the movie ends. Okay. So, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was enjoyable. I do feel like I have to watch 4 and 5 to basically understand everything and get to know the characters better, because I literally, if you watched the spoiler point, I didn't know anybody but Tara and Sam's names. Everybody else has like the one guy, the girl, the sister, the brother. I'm like, yeah. But yeah. So anyways, I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. I thought the acting on it was great. I thought the story was great. I thought the kills in it and semi-kills were good. And it was very suspenseful in some of the parts, but it was also very funny. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan telling you, have an amazing day.